Hello, human. It's me, your fellow human, and I hope you are doing well. I would say I'm stable because I don't really know how to answer the question, how are you these days? So I would say I'm stable, right? So it's been 1 year since I, gave into capitalism, whatever that means. It's been a year since I started paying taxes in France. A year since I became a big girl and doing big girl things. All this to say, it's been a year since I started working in France full time, and today I will be talking about the journey. We're talking about the journey of finishing my master's and getting a job, the process of getting my work permit, the things that I like so far about working in France, the things I do not like so much about working in France, all of it, all the tea. And as usual, I have my book of information. You can see that we've upgraded. It's no longer the tiny one. We've upgraded. I told you we are doing big girl things now, so we've upgraded. And the craziest thing is that I think this actually costs less than the other smaller book. Let's get into the video, shall we? So first things first, I would like to talk about the process of my work permit. I finished my internship around August last year. Yeah, the first couple of weeks of August. I started applying for jobs around May, June. And I got an offer from like a startup company around July. And this is after applying to like several companies. I counted it actually because I don't know, I'm not obsessed, but I like, my brain functions better when I keep track of things. So I had like a folder that I bookmarked where I added all the companies that I applied to. After applying to several companies, I got an offer from one startup, and they were offering me a very low salary around then in July. And I remember thinking, guy, this salary is low for somebody that has their master's. But then I was scared. I was thinking, well, these people manage to give you offer. Do you think anybody who wants you, who is going to hire you? This is what I was thinking. Sometimes people look at you and think, oh, she's so confident. But guy, there's a lot of anxiety inside this body. But story for another day. So I was really scared that I wouldn't get any other offer. And I remember talking to my friend. I was telling Patricia, my guy, I don't know if I would get something better. And I don't want to turn this down because, I'm like thinking, oh, the salary is too low. But eventually I tried to have some faith that something better would come. So I turned it down and kept applying. Eventually I think the same week I finished my internship, I got an offer with the company that I am working with now, and it was way better, and better conditions, better advantages. So I'm like, okay, I think I would go with this. And mind you, this is after applying to several and getting several rejections. So don't think, oh, she finished her internship and she got a job. Oh my God, it's so great, it's so easy, beautiful, amazing. Oh, you did that. No. I cried a lot of times, if I'm being honest. I cried because I was scared. I didn't think anybody would want to hire me, first of all, because I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to bring to the company that somebody else is not going to do? So it was actually very stressful, and too much anxiety. I would call my mom crying, telling her that I don't know if I'm going to get a job. I haven't found anything till now. So yeah, I eventually got the job. And then after getting the job, there was the anxiety of, are they going to give me a work permit? Even though I got the job, are they going to really grant me a work permit, And then to get my work permit, of course, I was supposed to finish my defense and get there's something called attestation de réussite. It's what your university gives to you. Like, it's like a statement of result or statement of results stating that you actually passed, you passed your master's. And that took a while. And my company needed the attestation de réussite to apply for what is called autorisation de travail, at the prefecture, the French embassy, basically. So I was very nervous because I didn't know if I was going to pass and get my master's. I didn't know if I passed or not. So all of that was going on, but eventually I did pass, and I sent the attestation to my company. My company applied for autorisation de travail, which came out, I think, a week later. So with the autorisation de travail, you can then apply for like your work visa. But then there are two ways that I have knowledge of that you can get your work visa in France. Like, if you're transitioning from student to worker in France, there's the route, the APS route. APS means l'autorisation provisoire de séjour. It's the visa that usually lasts for 6 months or 1 year, depending on your country, I guess, where you are given that visa after you finish your studies so you can look for a job. And then when you get the job, you then, show them the proof of you getting a job, and you then get your work visa, basically. And then there's the route of doing something called the changement de statut, which is basically changing your status. So changing your status from student in France to worker in France. And so I went through the changement de statut route, where I just directly changed my status from student to worker. I didn't go through the getting the APS and then looking for a job for 1 year before changing my status. So I think that's about that. So the summary of the work permit thing is, you need autorisation de travail, which your company is supposed to apply for on your behalf. But your company will need a proof that you're done with your studies and that you passed to apply for it. And I think they will need your security number as well, like your social security number. And then when you get the autorisation de travail, you can then submit that with your documents to the prefecture. Oh, by the way, the APS, you can also use you can apply for the APS if you're trying to start your own business in France. Like, the APS is for either looking for a job or you want to start your own business in France. So it works for both of these. Moving on to other things about, working in France. There are certain things that I really love or appreciate about working in France. And the first one is the paid leaves. I love it because it's actually crazy because people take like a month off work and it's paid. So I'm like, I've never really had like a proper professional experience anywhere else other than France. I did work in Nigeria, but I was doing my NYSC, so I was basically an intern. So of course I didn't have privileges, I didn't have advantages, so I don't really know how it works. But I know I've not really been around my mom, and my mom says things like, oh, so I have like a month leave, paid leave. I don't think I've ever heard that. Maybe it exists. Maybe it's possible that it exists. But here in France, it's like during summer, maybe your colleagues would be off for the whole of August. And it's like, oh, nobody feels guilty about that. It's like, it's your right, you know. I like that because I'm not taking any days off. I'm working every day. So that next year, by God's grace, I'm taking my summer off the whole month. Sorry, I'm off, out of office, you know. So I think that's just, I don't know, it's nice. It's very nice that you can go 1 month off of everything and you get paid at the end of the month. Like, that's nice, that's lovely. Something else that I really like about working in France is how everybody gets to speak their mind. I think I talked about this in the video where I talked about my experience with doing my internship, my first professional experience in France. People say their minds, and it doesn't matter if the person is your manager or not. If your manager is saying, maybe it's about work. I'm not saying people are rude. No, they're not rude. They just say their mind. Like, they just really say their mind. If the manager has proposed something to the team, if somebody in the team doesn't like it, they say it. Like, oh no, non, en fait, je vois pas pourquoi on va faire ça. Non, non, ça me convient pas. And that is something that, as a Nigerian, working in Nigeria, first of all, your boss or your senior says something, you don't necessarily counter it. It's just like, it's nice to be in a place where you feel like your opinion matters, where your opinion is actually taken into account. I think that's really nice that, you know, you work with people that listen to you and you can say what's on your mind without feeling like you're stepping on any toe, right? So that's nice. So in general, healthy work environment. I don't know if, when I speak for only the company that I've worked with. I've worked for only 1 year. So I haven't had a bad experience with my company yet. And I hope it stays like that. So that's just my own experience, right? And then something else that I like, I don't know if I like, well, I like it, but some days I don't. I think small talk. Small talk, I think, I know it's not a France thing, it's a work thing. Like, when you're at work, you have to do small talk. You absolutely have to do small talk. Somebody would ask you, how was your weekend? What did you do? And you have to tell them what you did, even though you don't feel like it, you know. But sometimes it's nice to hear what people did over the weekend. It's nice to hear what people did on their paid leaves. And French people can travel. Oh, they would go to Malaysia and go to Croatia and go to Tanzania. They travel, babes. They travel. So they always have like stories to tell. So I like it in the sense that it gives me the opportunity to not talk. So I'm able to just listen and, you know, enjoy the conversation or whatever it is that you're saying. Because honestly, in recent times, I don't really have anything to say to people, especially like if we are not friends or if we are not close. You know, at work, we're just colleagues, right? And we're not like close. So I don't really know what to say. I don't really have a lot of things to say anymore. Unless you want to see me cry. In that case, I will, because this is a cry. I really cry. I cry like I could cry right now. It comes like this. But yeah, I digress. There's no room for awkward silence, basically. But sometimes we need silence. We need that awkward silence. It's okay. Let it be silent. Let us hear each other breathe. Some days I just don't want to do small talk, but you have to, because you just have to. Something that I don't like a lot is being away from my family. It's not easy, especially, you know, like since my father died, I've just been craving so much of family time. I just want to be closer to my family, you know. But of course, we don't get everything we need. What we want, because that's life. Life is always lifing. Life is always lifing. But honestly, overall, I am immensely grateful for this opportunity to be able to work, to be able to learn from amazing experts, because I know how stressed out I was. Like, anxiety wanted to kill me. Oh, but I'm taller than my trials and tribulations. I'm 5'8". I was telling my friend Adejoke just before this video that I'm taller than my trials and tribulations. I'm looking forward to experiencing more things, meeting new people, you know, living and, you know, seeing what the future has ahead. So yeah, all around grateful. This year has been one of the most difficult years I've had to experience as an adult. And it's making me to not feel like there's anything to be thankful for, but I'm thankful regardless. I'm thankful. Last weekend I went to enjoy and celebrate my 1-year work anniversary, because it's not easy to be alive. So I went to Chop Life and I think it was nice. It was amazing. It was very lovely to be close to the beach. I think this would bring us to the end of this video. Thank you as always for watching. See you next time when we want to do more big girl things. See ya. Bye.